I attended a classmate's Valentine's Day 2001 wedding. Our college friendship was strong, although we rarely talked. We supported one another through college despite our hardships. We kept in touch after graduation. When she invited me to her wedding, I was thrilled. With me was my husband. The wonderful decorations gave the wedding a romantic feel. Ribbons and flowers decorated the venue. I became nauseated and in agonizing pain as they swapped rings. I rarely squeal in public, but this time I couldn't stop it. In pain, I moaned. My hubby looked surprised when I was unhappy. "My God, what's wrong with you?" he cried. The pain made it hard to speak. My vision blurred and my body weakened. I wanted to avoid ruining my female classmate's wedding. My spouse assisted me gently. Despite the crowd, we cautiously approached the church's door. But I couldn't resist till I reached the entrance. I collapsed in hopelessness as the world spun around me. My spouse knelt beside me to wake me up, but I stayed asleep. I felt like I was entering another universe as my awareness faded. I felt completely free, painless. My field of vision expanded as I calmed. While watching the wedding guests, I saw they were staring at me. Heart resuscitation began. A tremendous influence brought me back to reality. As my spirit reconnected with my body, I suffered. After some minutes, I left my body. I felt better after doing this than before. I felt no time or pain as a warm light surrounded me. This lovely place seemed like home, and pure energy surrounding me. I felt more connected to the universe. My spirit was free in a sea of love, without physical bondage. Because time was irrelevant, I cannot say how long this continued. A non-verbal signal was sent to my brain unexpectedly. I had to decide whether to continue or return to reality. I didn't know who sent the friendly note or if it was male or female. I decided to keep seeking a deeper truth and continue. While choosing, a stunning white archway illuminated my path. Two bigger doors, each indicating a passage forward, flanked this gate, giving it a sacred aspect. A separate world was behind every door. At that time, I felt at a crossroads, facing a significant decision. I stared at the entrances while inhaling. I chose the central door. I felt warm as I stepped through the arched archway, like an unseen hand guided me. I felt like I was entering a new planet. A vast hall with softly lit walls appeared before me. I walked down the hall excitedly. Beyond words and feelings, this passageway was filled with love. As I approached the corridor's end, a dazzling light illuminated the room beyond. Someone waited for me under that light. Even though I couldn't recognize him, he was a mentor to me. I felt comfortable in his presence, like old friends. He had a divine air that made me feel safe and trust him. As I approached him, our spirits harmonized, creating a special relationship. With his help, I reached a peaceful lake surrounded by lush trees and flowers. It was like entering a secret heaven. I calmed down when I saw my reflection in the lake. "I must return to reality," he added. "No, I would rather remain here," I said. I stayed because I didn't want to lose this exquisite setting where I felt completely free. He gently told me that returning would not erase my time here. I declined his offer again. He stared at my stomach and pointed when I said no. "You have to go back for the sake of the baby in your belly." It was a lovely and thrilling surprise. Since my spouse and I married 4 years ago, I wanted a family. My periods were late for so long we considered adoption. I was excited but couldn't say if I was expecting. This news filled me with pleasure and tears. He told me this baby was a miracle and a gift. I returned to my real life to achieve my goal with my marriage and care for this child. God extended arm to signal me to follow. As we emerged from the time tunnel into a large, bright space, my surroundings changed. I entered a spacious room filled with family photos. A toddler followed me as my husband and I hugged, grinning. Something prevented me from seeing the child's face or gender. The child and family laughing filled the atmosphere with pleasant energy. The kids' room has many books and colorful toys. The child was pleased while my husband and I watched him play. Next, my husband and I walked hand in hand through a brilliant garden of flowers. We enjoyed the natural splendor while the kids played on the grass while we cared for the plants and flowers. I was again in a school, this time during my child's graduation ceremony, smiling with joy as they received their diploma. Our child's accomplishments filled my spouse and me with pride. I told my guide, I know which option to choose. Turning to her, I wish I could tell my hubby the good news right now. The tour guide smiled and nodded. Again, I appeared in the corridor. With a lovely glow, the walls said goodbye. I strolled along the hall to the exit. I saw the arched gate again. Recalling this amazing interaction filled me with gratitude and admiration. My silent companion, the magician, smiled at me. Looking up at the archway, I inhaled deeply. I felt ready to leave this realm and return to my daily existence. The sorcerer hugged me before leaving. Bit by bit, reality returned. My mind and body reunited. The environment surrounding me gradually improved. An anxious nurse hovered over me in a hospital bed. "How are you feeling?" the nurse asked kindly. She immediately handed me a delicious drink. I enjoyed every sip. My mental clarity and physical vitality improved over time. As I fell asleep, I contemplated the extraordinary occurrence. After returning to reality, I was still in wonder. My spouse entered the hospital room as I looked over. I hugged him, smiled, and said, "My darling, I must convey some vital information to you." My spouse gazed worriedly at me. I said, "We are expecting a little baby, and we are finally going to become parents." My partner soothed me by holding my hand and saying, "Just get some rest." After leaving the hospital, we bought a pregnancy test at the pharmacy. Driving home, I felt worried and excited. I ran to the bathroom with the pregnancy test. After a brief delay, the findings were in. Incredulity made my palm tremble and tears come to my eyes. Pregnancy gripped me. My husband immediately went to the bathroom after hearing my joy. He smiled broadly as he reviewed the pregnancy test results. We went to the hospital later. Doctor told me I was pregnant with twins. 9 months later, I had 2 sons on a lovely morning. Their entrance made the household laugh. Even after 20 years, I remember everything about that day. My 2 sons are responsible adults. My sons graduated recently. We were thrilled by their academic achievements. I was overwhelmed with emotion and pride as they received their honorary certificates. 20 years ago, that event taught me to respect life and its limitless possibilities. I'm forever grateful to the guide who saved me and let me see my family. His guidance helped me appreciate every moment. My husband, my rock and constant support, deserves my thanks. He has been my rock through life's ups and downs. My 2 sons deserve my gratitude most. They provide me endless joy and love. They are my greatest gift. They inspire me to better. That was a major revelation to me.